Hi, I'm Andrew and I'm part of the church here. I've been coming to Riverside for just over a little 4 years now, and I do a lot of different stuff here, mainly with the youth and children. Just over 4 years ago, before I started coming to church, I was probably the biggest non-believer of religion ever. I was brought up in a non-religious background, scared of churches. I think I'd associate them with like death mainly. You just walk past a churchyard, I'd see all the graves and it'd be like, oh no, that's scary, like a Halloween type scene. I really didn't want to come. But then luckily God had the presence to put someone into my life, just introduced me to Martin and Naomi, who come here one day, and they invited me along to a Christmas service, and something just resonated with me that day. And then decided in the new year, woke up one morning, this is where I want to be. I want to go to church. Something had obviously stuck with me. So I remember it was on a January Sunday morning, went down to the old Queensbridge site, walked in, and even as I walked in, it felt good. And then even as I walked in, I just bumped into someone else who I knew from outside. It was like, okay, there's people here I know. It was like, okay, someone's telling me to be here. And everything just rolled over from there. A lot of things just resonated with me, stuck in my head, even subconsciously. It was like, even if I didn't feel it at first, it was like something was telling me inside. And I didn't know at the time, you've got to be here, you want to be here. And which is, I've later learnt now, that was the spirit telling me, I love you, I want you to be here. So, as I say, I did the Alpha course, learnt a lot from that. And that, even just that alone, gave me a new relief, because there was an incident one day where I collapsed on the floor with low blood pressure. And for the first time in my life, I felt myself praying to God there. I was weak on the floor, couldn't breathe. Just pray to God, simple prayer, and that gave me strength to call for help, get help, saying, I need an ambulance here at the time. And I was like, okay, that was probably the real beginning of my story, of where I am, because it was like, okay, it's worked. I prayed to God here, something's working in my life. Just wanted to say this Bible passage that I've learned, which is one of my favourite ones, and that is from Proverbs 3 verse 5, and it is, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. And by that it's like, just trust in the Lord's work, in what he's doing for you, and you will be rewarded. You know, you trust in the Lord will support you. He will show you the way through life and help you through troubled times. Quickly realised after first coming, saying it's not about necessarily the building. It doesn't have to have this big fancy spiral graveyard. It's about the community and the people and the overall cause. I've learned we could be meeting in a park in the back garden, all it matters, as long as you're all there together to praise this Holy Spirit in God. That is what the true cause and what really matters. So yes, I got inspired on one roasting hot day in the middle of July to get baptised, and honestly it's the best thing I made. Just the instant impact of that alone, I felt a whole weight come off my shoulders. So after getting baptised, I thought to myself, how could I repay this faith that was shown in me? It inspired me to get involved in different ministries here at Riverside. I'm now a big part of things like the Stay and Play and other children's and youth ministries, as well as helping out on other things on Sunday services. One of the main differences I've found in myself since then is I found myself a lot more compassionate. I was a very cynical person. Before, I would walk past the street, I would see a homeless person and beg, and I'd be one of those that would think they're one of the dirt of the earth type things. Now, after coming to church, learning things, I've learned to be a lot more compassionate, thinking these are just humans. There's a story behind everyone's journey. What is the reason someone like that is in the position they are? So I've now found myself several times now where before I just walk past these people on the street, I've now found myself offering to speak to them, listening to them, even buying them food and drink when I can. And you see just to see the grateful look on their faces makes me not regret, makes it worthwhile, justified of the decision I made to start coming to church and even being baptised, and that is all down to the belief I've been given by following Jesus.